YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. It's time. It's that Captain Marvel movie review, bruh.
I'm not what you think I am.
It's been a very long time. We've been waiting for this movie to come out. You know, there's a lot of drama surrounding her. Brie Larson, the actress, about her feminazi propaganda, her feminist agenda, all of the other things that revolves around this movie that has nothing to do with the superhero itself and more to do with Brie Larson's ego and how she feels about female rights and all that other stuff. And then you have the people who are like, hey, man, just watch the movie, give it a motherfucking chance. Well, that's what we're here to do today. I'm going to be completely unbiased, and I'm going to review this film based on its own merit, putting Brie Larson stuff to the side because I really don't like her, especially the way Marvel and Feige has handled her press tour and all that other stuff there. So that's to the side. Movie review time. So basically, synopsis. This is a movie about Carol Danvers, Air Force pilot who was in an accident, lost her memory, and she's trying to get each little shattered fragment part back from her memory to make a complete story. She's basically trying to find out who she is. And we go in adventures along the way with villains and antagonists trying to stop her from attaining certain goals. That's all I'm going to give away as far as spoilers. That ain't even a spoiler because this is spoiler free. So that's just how I'm being so careful with you guys to not give away anything. This is a spoiler free review. So let me get right into it. The first act was the best part of this movie. So I'm going to talk about the positives, okay? I really enjoyed the first act of this movie, man. Like, it was a solid type of introductory origin type of film within the first act. You get to see Brie Larson. You see how she's kind of portraying the character. She shows more in the first act of this movie than all of the trailers did. You know, so her not smiling, being robotic and all that. In the first act of the movie was like, oh, okay, so she is showing some emotion. She's showing some stuff. I've seen her smile a couple times, and you kind of understand the story that they're going with. And I bought it. As a viewer, I bought it. I'm like, all right, let's go for this ride. Popcorn throwing down. Let's go for this ride. Let's do it. So I'm introduced to the Kree world and how their society is. And, you know, they did a really brief introduction to that. They didn't spend that much time in there. I wish they kind of would have, but it really progressed itself pretty nicely, in my opinion. I believe that Brie Larson was a fish out of water in the first act, but she was more charismatic than I thought she would be. Now, she's not stellar in the first act, but it's better. It's more impressive to me than what I was expecting her to be based on her in the first act. Because in the first act, she's still trying to learn who she is. She's that fish out of water. She's that shattered type of memory trying to become one picture. So if I'm going to just say that the story introduces, and the way that the plot pieces together this puzzle. You sit down a puzzle and you take piece by piece until you get your picture, right? This film is a collage. And what it does, it reveals certain pieces of the puzzle until you get the full picture. That's a difference. It's not much of a difference, but that's the analogy that I'm going to use here today. And I dug it. I'm like, okay, you're showing me bits here, bits there, bits over there, bits here, and every little bit that we're seeing as a viewer of this film, we're putting it together ourselves. Like, oh, okay, so that's why this, that's why that, okay, that's why this, and they have a big conclusion moment where everything comes together, and it's like, okay, once it comes together, you're like, okay, I'm with that. I'm actually with that. That's not too bad. But then, the rest of the movie happened. And what I mean by that is Brie Larson started off here with me. The character Carol Danvers started off here, and I believe she went this way. And right after that first act ended, the rest of the movie didn't go this way. It went this way, bruh. Now, I'm going to be as vague as possible because I'll save everything for the spoiler review. I liked the explosions in certain places. All right, man. I'm just going. That's it. This is a lame movie. This is the worst action movie in the entire MCU. It's right there next to Iron Man 2. This is supposed to be an action film, and it did a terrible job at being an action film. This is supposed to be a superhero film, and it did a terrible job at being a superhero film. It was definitely something else. I wouldn't call this a superhero movie because it's not. This is not a superhero movie. She doesn't even have a moral code. Superheroes at their core have a set of standards and morals that they live by, rules, guidelines. That's what makes a superhero a superhero. Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, has none of these, and it has nothing to do with her memory or lack thereof. It's just who she is. As a character, I don't gravitate to her at all as a superhero. She's not one, in my opinion. To me, the best way to describe Captain Marvel is she's a girl who got powers and is having fun with them. That's basically it. This is like Chronicle. Imagine the 3 boys in Chronicle making 3 boys and a girl who went in that cave and they found out that alien artifact thing underground, and all 4 of them got powers. Instead of it just being Michael B. Jordan, the 2 others, it was also Brie Larson. That's what this was. Without the amazing display of power. Because she's supposed to be doing some shit to Thanos, right? Nah, bruh. Nah. This film is sandwiched between Infinity War and Endgame. This film lets you know clearly that this film is coming before Endgame. This film is tied directly into the events that's going to happen in Endgame, as we all suspected and knew. And for this film to be in this circumstance, for this film to be taking place in 2019, for this film to have this much weight on it, this film fails on so many levels. Brie Larson, wooden. For sure she's wooden. It's crazy when people say Gal Gadot can't act, but she acted circles around Captain Marvel in this movie. And that's not the last reference I'm going to make to a real Wonder Woman type of film. Like Wonder Woman, right? Superheroes, bruh. This film can't hold a candle to freaking Wonder Woman. Lots of people comparing. Oh, it's time. The movie's out now, bruh. This movie gets stomped and pissed on by Wonder Woman. Not because it's a better action movie, because it is. Not because Gal Gadot is a better actress in the movie, because she is. Not because Steve Trevor is a man who had respect from the viewer, because he did. Not because the side characters in Wonder Woman were better than supporting cast, because it was. Not because the action, not because the director did a fantastic job and was delicate with the material, because it was, and she was, the director was. It's not because this movie is just overall trash compared to Wonder Woman. It is. The problem I have is simple. This ain't a superhero movie. It's supposed to be a superhero movie first. I don't care about her being a woman. You could get to that. She could be gay. You could get to that too. But god dang, the first thing you do in a Marvel MCU or a DC or a Sony Marvel or a Fox Marvel movie is you show me the heroes. Get to this is an origin. Show me that hero. This ain't no hero story. This is the first non-heroic story of the MCU, bruh. This film tears down so many different MCU movies, it's not even funny. I'm going to save that for the spoiler review. This film offends me as an MCU fan because of the impact it has on other movies of the MCU, just like Infinity War did. There's things that happen in this movie that completely wipe away mystique, awe, epicness, and it completely disrespects other Marvel characters as well. I'll save it for the spoiler review. I will say this right now. There was some huge feminist agendas in this movie. Women shown in this film as the beacons, as the one who have hope and are being oppressed and rise to the occasion. Men in the way being buffoons, breaking them down in the way as villains. Women with children without fathers, because you're not going to show the dad. Women who are being oppressed and are independent to the full force, to the fact of there's no space for men. And the one person that I feel like had some type of redeeming quality as a man, it wasn't really a man, it was a freaking Skrull, was it Bill Mickelson? I know his name. He was a Skrull, and I gravitated to him because he was funny and quippy. There was some cheesiness there coming from him, but I liked him. I was scared that they were gonna emasculate Samuel Jackson's character, Nick Fury. You know, that respectful guy that we know and love. And I understand that in the 1990s, he's not that Nick Fury that he was. But they shafted the shit out of him, bruh. They took his nutsack and they sliced it clean the freak off. Kevin Feige, you should be ashamed of yourself for what you did to Nick Fury, man. Samuel Jackson, I know that this is just superhero stuff and you don't care about it. I get that. You're a Quentin Tarantino guy. Makes sense. I'm a huge fan of you, Samuel Jackson. But my nigga Samuel, hold this L, my nigga. Hold this L, bruh. For you, bruh. You took this role in this script knowing what they were going to do with that character that spent 10 years in the MCU, in the lives of the fans' hearts. They pushed Nick Fury to the side. They made him a slave boy, a whipping boy. They demasculated him, bruh, and they made him look small. They made that black man look small, and that's what I feared the most. He was a joke. Nicholas J. Fury got wrecked. And when I see him in Endgame, I'm going to remember this movie. I'm wrecked from that shit, bro.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly...
As an action movie, this movie fails. There's a scene in this movie where a display of a man he literally gets his face blown off with the woman next to him still standing. It's really symbolic like that. Like she literally shoots a concussive blast at a billboard man's face. A man too. Just little slight things like that, man. Ronan the Accuser, you're just as trash as you were in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Ronan the Accuser, you are nothing but a stepping stool for Brie Larson to step on. And that's exactly what she did with that character, Ronan the Accuser. Because something happens with Ronan the Accuser in this movie that completely unravels everything that whatever little he was about, and turns him into another whipping boy. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Just a long line of just overpowered feminist propaganda in this movie. I knew this was going to happen. Jody, wait for the movie. I didn't need to. Because when you're spewing this out of your mouth and you're promoting it, you could clearly see what they're doing. And I'm perfectly fine if they had all that feminist shit in here. Make a good movie. This movie is sauce, bruh. It's sauce. It's an enchilada with no sauce and no meat and no cheese and no sour cream, no crema, no green onions, no black olives, no onion, nothing. You know what this movie is? A freaking plain white tortilla, bruh. That's what this movie is. A stale movie. A lot of people say this is an early MCU movie. It's phase 1. Yeah, I could definitely see that. This is like Thor the Dark World, bruh. Rather watch Thor the Dark World over this movie. That's just the way I feel about this movie. I don't really like this movie at all, guys, because it fails as an action movie. It fails as a female superhero movie. It fails as a superhero movie. And that's the biggest failure of all. While at the same time, ruining characters that we love, like Nick Fury as an example. The other ones I can't name. But I'll let you watch that film yourself. Those of you guys who've seen that end credit scene, those of you guys who've seen what that cat did, who everyone loves the cat, freak out of my face, man. The community of YouTubers that I work with, and I'm working with them because I'm here on the screen. Right after you gonna click another one of a dishonest son of a bitch lying, trying to say this movie is good. Call him out on that bullshit, bruh. Marvel is 0-3, in my opinion. That Infinity War, that Ant-Man the Wasp, and his Captain Marvel going into Endgame, bruh. Y'all effing up. Y'all effing up, bruh. Marvel, you're effing up. Feige, I feel it. He's finna leave, bruh. I think he's gonna set this X-Men up and he's gone. His creative ain't in this. His hands are not in this. He didn't give a freak about Black Panther. That shit got lucky. I see it. I've been seeing it. And now I believe that more people will see it because of this movie. I saw it 2-3 movies ago. But that's just me. I'm ahead of the curve. I'm not here to hate on this movie. I hate this movie. There's a big difference. Not here to hate on this movie. I hate this movie. Because I'm a superhero fan. You feel me? And the first thing you're supposed to do is show me that superhero. And you didn't show me shit. She couldn't even... She lacked... This is the one that's supposed to fight Thanos, right? Man, miss me. Miss me. This is a lie. This is a scheme. The MCU ain't for me. It ain't for most of y'all. It ain't for comic book heads. The MCU ain't for people who know the character. The MCU ain't for people who love the superheroes and know the heroes and grew with them. I think we're in the midst of them hitting a reset button like Nintendo does. When the kids get older from the first Nintendo to Super Nintendo to 64, recycle to the Wii U for the newer kids. When those kids get older, replace them. That's what the Marvel MCU is doing right now. This movie ain't for us. This movie's for children. This movie is for your little girls to go see and get poisoned. That's what this movie is for. This movie ain't for us. Show shit ain't for me. But that theater what I was in was laughing at the dumbest shit. Stuff in the trailers they were laughing at. You knew it was coming. Dying off of it. This movie is made for the general audience who knows nothing about nothing and just wants to turn their brain off and enjoy. Enjoy what? Jokes, I guess? Because this movie's full of them. Doesn't have eye candy. Doesn't have action. This is the least amount of action in the MCU. I'm sorry. Thor 1 has more action. Iron Man 2 has more action. With Whiplash in it, bruh. What are we doing here? I am incredibly disappointed in this movie. I'm disappointed in this movie. I'm disappointed in this film. And you know what's crazy is that, Rotten Tomatoes is getting exposed right now for putting out fake reviews. And you know what's funny to me? They took down the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes for this movie. Why? Because Disney said so. You took down the audience score for this right now. All day it's been off. I don't know when you guys are seeing this review. It might be back up, but they took it down. Audience score gone from this movie. I'm not lying. Let me see if it's up there right now. Let's see if it's up right now. I'll show you guys right now. Boom. Proof is in the pudding, baby. 82% critics. Audience score, not available. It was there. User ratings, gone. Let me brighten it up for you guys. User rating, gone. Audience score, not yet available. It was at 59% before they took it down. This is the world we live in, guys. This is propaganda. This is an agenda making their way into our superhero films. Not only our superhero films, but our children's movies like Disney. They're doing it. They're freaking doing it. So, this film completely killed all hype that I have for Endgame. And I can't tell you why besides what you've already heard, but there's something else that really wrecks my shit in the end credit scene of this film. There's 2 end credit scenes. I recommend you guys stick around for both of them because they're both equally as offensive and stupid. God dang, there's some shit that happens with Samuel Jackson. Oh man, I'm a movie reviewer. I'm a critic, and I'm proud to say that because I critique films. I think critically when looking at film. This is what I do because I take it seriously, and you guys trust me to give you guys my honest opinion on films, and that's exactly what I'm here to do. An article was put out, audio clip of a Rotten Tomatoes reviewer who admitted that they have to give good reviews to certain films so they have access to the platform. That's just what it is. If you investigate right now on Google, that's what it is. People on YouTube shill. There's shill reviewers out there. That's just the way it is. It's obvious. Most of them for Disney. Disney shills, man. And I didn't want to believe it, but you after being here and doing this for as long as I've been doing it, 3 years, my eyes is wide to freak open to this, man. I kept it 100 on Infinity War because I saw that Marvel was losing their step, and I saw the formula that they did with Infinity War. Forget the story that you love. Forget the characters that you love. We're going to blindside you with nothing but action and eye candy, and you're going to forget about all the flaws. And now Captain Marvel is here, and it's not even hiding them with the eye candy. This is a bad movie. It started off good, and just the second and third act, it just free-falled. None of the characters I gravitated towards, none of them, except that Kree, that Skrull, that one Skrull guy. And he was more of a comedy thing. I liked him, but that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion regardless of what anybody else thinks of it, man. That's why I'm doing this review by myself. I don't want nobody cutting me off, man. Listen. You got to look at these films and understand what's going on. I understand some of y'all want to turn your heads off. Turn them off and just go watch them. That's what Transformers is for. This Marvel MCU used to be something totally different than it is now. It used to be a film that connected everything and stimulated your mind and displayed that here on the screen and made you just shiver in the seat and tingle at the amazing, oh my God, am I seeing comic book characters on screen doing comic book things, giving you nice little clues from the comic books and stuff, making the little kid out of us come out and rejoice in the theater with everyone else. This film, Captain Marvel, is not that. This is a man-hating feminist movie, feminazi movie. Because I'm all for women empowerment, being a feminist myself, a real one. This is something else, man. Somewhere we've lost it, man. Right around Ragnarok is when the MCU started to lose its way. Right around that time, man. And I don't care what heat I get from this movie review. I don't give a freak because I put it down on Infinity War. I don't give a freak. I'm going to keep it 100 with the ones who are watching me now. Let's say right now at this very moment of this movie review, as it's going right now live playing back, right? 150 of you are probably watching me right now at this very same moment. Freak 130 of y'all, because y'all puppets. There's about 20 of y'all who are watching, who know the real, who want the truth, who seek realness and a genuine movie reviewer and someone who's going to keep it real and give you their honest thoughts, no matter if you like it or not. Y'all are the ones that this review is for. Freak all the other 130 y'all who just, oh yeah, he don't like that. Freak you. This ain't for you. It's for the people who are at home and watching right now. They're like, man, everybody's saying this movie's good and all this. And man, all the people who are being disingenuous, you're in the comment section, you see them putting reviews up and you look in their eyes and you can tell they're lying. This is for all the people who keep coming to movie reviewers or trailers or channels and you see that they're not being 100. That's why I'm here. For those 20, I don't care if it's 5 of y'all. Come to Jody's Corner, bro, because that's what we do here. We're honest about our shit. All the other one, y'all don't give a frick about the rest of y'all. Y'all like the rest of the fools in the theater that were laughing at a cat meowing in this movie. Ha ha ha, the cat meowed. Ha ha ha, the cat gargled. What the freak? I give Captain Marvel a D. not the type of film that you want going into Avengers Endgame. This lowers the hype for Endgame for me. I'm ready to make the cycle complete. Let's go ahead and get on into it, guys. Subscribe to the channel for the real content. Those of you guys who want to hate because I'm sitting here keeping it real, thumbs down this video and move the freak on. And go to the ones who's going to tell you what you want to hear, because you guys are slaves. You know what's funny about that shit is because the movie reviewers and those other channels and them other people and the other YouTubers, they know they're being fake and they know you guys don't know it. And they're laughing at your shit. Oh, this movie sucked, man. Trash film. Action. This movie was really good. Really surprising to me. I really liked it. Thanks. Subscribe. Oh, he liked it. Subscribe. Fools. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.